Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to this channel. So in the previous lecture we have started a topic of powders. So we have discussed that powders are the solid unit dosage form and they can be used internally and externally, and they are present in crystalline nature as well as in the amorphous form. Then we have discussed some advantages and disadvantages of powders, and then we have start a topic of classification of powders, and we have discussed about the two types of powder. First is the simple powders and the compound powders. But now we are going to cover this topic. We are going to see the classification of powders. So the third classification of powder is a type which is hydroscopic and deliquescent powders. So the word hydroscopic means that they can absorb moisture, and deliquescence also mean that they can absorb moisture. So you know very well, in the preparation of drug we have a lot of such like substances which have ability to absorb moisture from the atmosphere. So whenever they are in contact with the moisture, let's suppose I have this powder in this beaker. Okay, so very well, in our moisture various kind of water vapors are present. So this powder has ability to absorb this water molecule in them, and if this water molecule absorb in it, then what will happen? Various types of clumps will be formed. As you can see here, this powder will form lot of clumps here, and due to this clump formation, what will happen? Our drug will be degraded. So what will happen? Our drug will be degraded, and it has no effective use over it, and it is very useless for us. So therefore we have to protect these powders. Okay, we have to add something in this powder in order to prevent the absorption of water. So what we are doing, we are adding something. Okay, so first of all, let's discuss what are the hydroscopic powders, or what are the hydroscopic substances which have ability to absorb this moisture. So these hydroscopic substances and their examples are given here. So hydroscopic substances example is here. So first is ammonium chloride, ammonium, NH4Cl, then NH4 ammonium iodide, NH4I, and then sodium bromide and sodium iodide. So these are such substances which have ability to absorb moisture. So let's suppose in your drug you have these substances. So these substances can absorb moisture and make your drug ineffective. So in order to overcome this problem, what we will do, we will take three steps. So how you overcome this problem? So first of all, you have to add some kind of inert substance in it. You will add some type of inert substance. So what are these inert substances? So these inert substances have ability to absorb moisture in them, and hence they protect the powder from deliquescence or from degrading. And the example of such substances are like you have a starch, you have cellulose, sucrose, and lactose. These are substances which are acting as an inert substance. Second thing is that you will convert your this powder into granular form. So your powder should be converted into the granular form. And what will be the benefit of converting this powder into granular form? Actually, when we convert it in granular form, its particular size decreases, and due to decrease in the particle size, its surface area also decreases. So whenever the surface area decrease, it has low ability to absorb your moisture, so it will protect from the water and from the moisture. So hence, and last thing is to overcome is that you have to separately pack them. So packing of these types of powder should be separate packing. So by this separate packing, you will protect your powder from the absorption of moisture. Now, the next type of the powder and the drug which is used, which is U-Tech mixtures. So what are these U-Tech mixtures? First of all, I will define it to you. So UTEX are such kind of mixture in which when we mix two substances, they convert themselves from powder into the liquids. So क्या है यूटेक्टिक आर द मिक्सचर कि जब हम आप लेट्स सपोज कि ये एक आपका सब्सटेंस है and ये सब्सटेंस है when we mix both of these then what will happen, these are powders, after mixing they become liquid. So these are the eutectic mixtures, and if I give example of these mixture, so here are the some examples like men, menthol, aspirin, phenol. So these are some types of, and antipyrine we have antipyrine. So these are some types of eutectic mixture. Let's suppose you are going to mix aspirin and menthol. Okay, so when you mix these substances, so they convert their physical shape, they convert their physical property of powder into the liquid, and they become liquid like. So, if let's suppose you are given a target of prepared aspirin powder, and you have to add menthol into it. So, if you add menthol into it, they both will liquefy, and your powder will discard it and degrade it. So, therefore, in order to overcome this type of problem, what you will do, how you will overcome this problem. So first of all, you will dispense them separately, mean you will pack them separately. So you will pack aspirin separately and pack methanol separately, and after that you can add inert substances in them, inert substances, and I have given the example of inert substances like starch, cellulose, sucrose, and lactose. And third thing is that you can add some types of absorbents. These absorbents will help you because they absorb water within themselves and protect our main powder from absorbing the water. So therefore these absorbents has very important role in protecting our drugs. Okay, next is thing is that we have a next type of powder which is efflorescence powders. Okay, so as you know about the efflorescence tablets like CAC, so these drugs have ability to react with water, and after reacting it they lose your water of crystallization. So efflorescence substances have ability that whenever, for example, this efflorescent drug will interact with water, after interacting with water what will be going to happen, this drug will lose its water of crystallization, and it will also lose carbon dioxide from it. So therefore when you dissolve the efflorescence tablet into the water, there is the effervescence and there is the release of various kind of bubbles from it. So these are the bubbles of carbon dioxide which release out of it, and the water of crystallization is also lost from them. So therefore, if you are given a target to make such efflorescent drug into efflorescence powder, so you have to convert this drug into the powder. So there is a problem that if this drug exposed to the atmosphere and exposed to the water vapors which are present in the atmosphere, so they will react with it and lose their water crystallization and they will be degraded. So in order to overcome this problem, again you will add inert substances, and again you will add some types of absorbent in them in order to protect them. Okay, so the next type of powder is the vegetable powder. Okay, so the word vegetable is given to them due to a process because they contain some types of volatile oils in them. Okay, so your this vegetable powder will containing some types of volatile oils in them. Now, you know very well, in order to make powder, you have to make a substance. Let's suppose your vegetable powder have this substance, so you have to grind it. First of all, you will grind this substance in order to convert it into the powder like form. So you will grind it in the pestle and mortars. And one thing you have to remember, in case of vegetable powders, if you grind it very heavily, mean you will grind it at very high speed, then what will happen, these volatile oil will evaporate, and our drug will become discarded or degraded. So actually, in vegetable powders, volatile oil is the main component. And you can think that it is the active constituent which is present in your drug. So if the volatile oil evaporate, then your drug will be of no purpose, no effectiveness in it. So in order to overcome this problem, you will grind it softly. So you will not grind it very heavily, you will grind it very smoothly, very softly, in order to protect it. And after grinding it, you will double wrap it. After, when it came to the dispensing area of industry, you will wrap it, and wrapping will be double for it. So two covers will be needed for it. Two. So the first inner wrap should be of waxy wrapper should be around this kind of powder, and the second wrap of paper. So by these two types of wrapping, you will protect your drug, okay, and you will protect it from the compression and from the mixing them. So this was all about the vegetable powders. Last type of our powder is the liquid. So, in the type of liquid, we have given that some types of liquids are also added in the formation of powders. Let's suppose that you have given a drug which is in the form of liquid, and you have to take some few drops of liquid. Let's suppose you have to take few drops of liquid, and you have to add it into your powder. So how you will add it? Actually, you will titrate your powder. So what is titration? Titration is a type of grinding. Titration. So titration is a type of grinding in which you grind your powders with some type of liquid, and you make a paste of it, like a paste of creams and various kind of things. So it is in the form of paste. So they have liquidy nature in them, but they are not liquids. Okay, so you will titrate it and make a paste of it, and after making this paste, you will add your diluents. And what are your diluents here? That you will add some types of flavoring agent, some types of sweetening agent, some types of coloring agent, and some types of inert substances. You will add it into them in order to make it proper, and at the last you will add various types of preservatives in it in order to preserve your drug. Okay, but now but now you have given a case that you not only have to add few drops of liquid, you have to add 1 ml of liquid. So 1 ml of liquid is a great quantity. So first we have discussed a case in which we have a small quantity of liquid, just a few drops of it. But now we have to add a large quantity of liquid. So in order to make a powder, and in order to add this 1 ml of liquid into your powders, what you have to do, you have to add two things. Okay, after the trituration or making the paste of it, you will add two things. You will add a strong inert substance and a strong absorbent. After adding this, your powder will be safe from any kind of moisture and from any kind of degradation. So now this liquid is ready to dispense. But here are some liquids which cannot be converted into powder form. Okay, so every liquid cannot be converted. So the examples of the liquid which cannot be converted into powders are tincture extract. So tincture extract, as you remember, we have discussed about them. So tincture extract are the extract in which these are extracted from the plants. So various kind of plants extraction will be dissolved in the alcohol, and this extract is called as a tincture extract. Now, why tincture extract cannot be converted into powders? Due to two reasons. First reason is that it contains some types of volatile nature and evaporating nature type of substances. So due to evaporation of it, you cannot convert it into the powders. And second thing is that they have very viscous nature. So due to the very viscous type of nature, you cannot convert them into the powders. So what you have concluded from it, that in order to convert your liquid into the powders, you need two things, and you can say that the characteristics of liquid which should be converted into powder should be non-viscous, should be non-greasy, and it should be of non-volatile nature, of non-volatile or non-evaporating nature. So if a liquid has all of these types of characteristics, so this liquid can be converted into the powders. But if a liquid which has viscous nature, which has greasy nature, and which has volatile substances in it, then we cannot convert that liquid into the powders. And remember one thing, you cannot convert more than mLs of the liquid into the powder. So you have to only convert 1 ml or 2 ml of liquid into powder, not more than it. So this was all about our today's lecture. In the next lecture, we will discuss that how potent drug can be converted into powders and how granular powders are formed. So I hope that you will understand this lecture. And if you have some types of confusion still in your mind, then you will definitely leave a comment, and I will give answer to you. So take care of yourself. Meet you soon in the next lecture. Till up, Allah Hafiz. Take care of yourself.